Yeah. We'll
Dented.
just put a spray and bed liner. That's, rid of that.
You guys are live.
Yeah, someone else said they had to replace on one, and it was horrible. Like they had to replace the whole cab because of the roof.
You're gonna have to place a cab on yours, aren't you, Howdy? Somebody asked me about that. They go, what happened? Oh. The Bobby Lee asked me. He's like, what happened to Howdy's truck? Crunch.
Nice and light out for a meeting.
I know.
How spring's
Kind
coming.
of weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know it is.
Kept looking at the clock, but that can't be right.
Yeah. Yeah, that clock still hasn't been set back there. I just
Oh,
looked at
you're
it
right.
a minute ago.
Oh, we had an hour.
Yeah.
You just sit here and shoot the breeze for.
Matt.
I'm gonna cut those birches down tomorrow out front.
John's not gonna be here to talk about any of the zoning stuff.
Yeah, but I had a long meeting with them on Thursday to.
I didn't see much, look like much for changes anyway, just kind of format. Didn't read through all of it, but.
Here to answer questions.
Okay. Looks like 6:00. We call the March 11th, 2019 Board of Selectmen meeting to order. Roll call, we have Howard Goodwin, Mike Mansalili, Jamie Thurlow, myself, Kevin Buck, Town Manager Chris Saunders, Town Clerk Katie Dandurand, and Katie at Disposal District. Carrie Donovan. Approval of minutes. We have the minutes of March 4th, 2019.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of Monday, March 4th, 2019.
I guess I have to second that. don't I? Okay, second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Can't vote on that one.
Okay, approval of warrants. We have warrant 92 for $10,695.36. Warrant 93 for $4,041.65. Warrant 94 for $10,608.05. Warrant 95 for $11,086.13. Warrant 96 for $977.68. And warrant 97 for $138,584.22.
I'll make a motion to approve warrants 92 through 97.
Second.
Excuse me, it's been moved and seconded to approve warrants 92 through 97. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, regular business, fiscal year 20 budget. I'm fine with, after the changes. I don't know what that is.
I missed last meeting, so I like to open discussion a little bit on that. I just want to know where we stand with the metal removal on Cape Road. What's the plan for that?
we discussed it quite a while and decided we're gonna have Public Works go up there and remove everything they can and budget another 2,500 to see what we can do to fill it in or whatever. I know Justin had said he thought he could,
When we say
remove a lot of. I'm still
remove the
talking
remove the concrete,
about, mostly rebar and try to bank around the concrete.
Okay.
We also discussed the light at the ramp there. Rather than trying a solar light that was rather dim, you get a pretty clear shot at it from the wall. I think I was gonna try to look more like a floodlight, you know, spotlight there. But, so I'm gonna deal with that.
so they, when you say bank around it, they're gonna put some ledge around it. That's what we're proposed.
Remove a lot of the steel.
Just to make it safe.
Right.
So we figured just to make it, as long as it's safe, then I'm happy at least.
Yeah, as long as it's covered over. The only thing I can see, like I went down there recently and was looking at it, is where the concrete's not saltwater concrete. It's constantly breaking down, so it's exposing more rebar. And even if we cut it off, if we don't have it covered up, I think it's just gonna push that rebar to the surface. Saltwater eats it up.
So I briefed Jimmy a little bit about this afterwards because now we have $2,500 there, so I wanted to get his input. And he said that with $2,500, you can buy a fair amount of 8-inch to 1-foot blasted ledge and put that down there. And he thinks he can place it pretty well with the backhoe. He was pretty excited about the project. He thought it would make a big difference.
That makes sense.
That's good.
Excuse me.
Does anyone else got anything on the budget?
I mean, were there any other, I guess,
There will be like a few dollar changes between now and when it's when I ask you to finalize it, because I put in the memo, depending on what happens with the portable toilets, that will cause it to go up, a few bucks here or there, but nothing substantial that would, I think, affect the current increase now projected at 3%.
Is it 3 now?
It went up to 3 with that $2,500.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I saw that, that's right.
I'm good with it.
Good to me.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Mhm.
You don't need a motion on anything then, do you?
I don't.
How about that? Okay, next item, solid waste. Yeah.
This is really just informational. I was hoping to have a contract for you by tonight, and I don't. The EMR contract expires on June 30th, 2019. This is typically negotiated, or this has always been negotiated through the Acadia Disposal District. I have a draft warrant or article that I'll present to you on March 25th that asks the town whether they authorize the Board of Selectmen to sign a new contract with EMR. That's basically where we are. I don't expect any major changes. There will probably be pricing changes in terms of, the tonnage rates.
Yeah.
But, other than that, I don't expect anything major. Carry
Well, we're
on.
not- I haven't seen the draft yet.
Okay, I didn't know if you were here to speak about any of that.
I'm just here to on the agenda, but we're not expecting any, ADD's not expecting any
Okay.
major changes. It's
Okay.
basically gonna be renewing what we already have now
Okay.
for another 5 years. Sometime in the near future, I'll have, know what where there's like little differences, but we don't expect anything majorly different than what it is now.
Okay. Thanks. Anyone got anything else? Okay, you're flying through it tonight. Okay. Item C, the portable toilet contract. And you gave us a copy of the contract, and we have 3 bidders.
2 bidders.
2 bidders.
I'm sorry to say that we're probably not going to fly through this item because there was a little hiccup to that. one of the bidders, the one that I recommended, had sent their certificate of insurance along with it. And in the past, when bidders had submitted certificates of insurance, I have often caught little errors and reached back out to them and, pointed that out, and they've been fine with it, and it's been resolved. I thought that would be what would happen this time, and that's not what happened. So in my bid specifications, which I included as a handout tonight, specification number 8 lays out what our insurance company requests that we include for all contracts for insurance. And the NBI Porta Potties has said that they will not get that level of insurance. They won't name the town as additional insured, and they won't maintain the minimum auto liability of $1 million. So that sort of leaves us in a difficult position because that's what the bid spec, for one thing, that's what the bid specs said. And that's, I would think that they were bidding on that and would have taken that into account in their pricing, but that's apparently not what they did. And so they said they could be willing to continue to offer us the same pricing that we currently have, but we would have to waive that insurance requirement. They're just not willing to name the town as additional insured.
So they didn't have that insurance, weren't required to have that insurance in the past?
I can't speak to what happened in the past because
It
I
might have
wasn't.
just been overlooked.
Yeah, I think it's been overlooked for several years. I wasn't the manager when that contract was originally.
The specifications are the same for anybody working for the town?
Yeah, this contract language, this insurance language I got direct from our insurance provider, and that's what I always put in. I understand where they're coming from, that naming the town as an additional insured does add something, as all of you know, as business owners. It does add something to your costs. I just hoped that they would have taken that into account. So I guess the question before you is a couple ways. You could choose to waive the insurance requirement. I'm not sure I would recommend that, since there is a reason our insurance provider wants us to have that. It does make me anxious when I think about, an accident. If someone were in a porta potty and it were, hit by a car, I greatly worry as to what the town's liability would be if we weren't named as additional insured. And without, going to court, I don't think we would know the answer. So you could just choose to risk it. You could simply award it to the other bidders. And I think that they did take it into account, although I haven't personally asked them. I mean, it was on the bid specs, so I would think that they would know.
They don't provide proof of insurance.
The second one, they're not required to provide the proof of insurance until they actually sign the contract. So
The toilets are horrible.
You don't have to break
The
down
service is
No,
bad.
all the bids here, do you?
you do have a bid. I do have a bid summary.
I thought you did somewhere, I don't see it.
It looks like
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Separate page, that's why I
Yeah.
have there. I know I saw it somewhere. There it is.
If we just rebid it,
I was looking on
if we just rebid it.
So it is substantially more expensive. Ray Plumbing's weekly rental rate
Yeah.
is
What-
substantially more.
What if could we put this back out to bid?
We could absolutely do that. Yeah.
Okay, because I know Chad Terry, I talked to him last Wednesday. He kind of forgot about it and overlooked that he was on vacation.
Okay.
But he might be interested.
Okay.
I tried to put a call into him on the way here tonight, but I couldn't get a hold of him to see if he was interested. I wasn't gonna explain anything, but I was just seeing if he was still interested in doing it. But I'm just wondering if,
Yeah, I would be happy to put it back out to bid. And I could even tell NBA Portable Toilet, just raise your prices. Just give us a bid that you need. I mean,
I think that's
right.
reasonable.
that's what I would
Yeah.
expect them to do.
I'm not comfortable dropping the bid specs.
No.
If that's what we did it after the fact,
I
because they didn't, I'm not comfortable doing that either. I think we had to rebid it.
I think we should rebid it too.
And-
I mean,
and we
if
could
somebody wants to
either-
pad their bid a little bit to
Yeah.
reflect that, then that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's either drop that whole clause completely, and I think that's a bad idea too.
Yeah.
Or rebid it, so.
Yeah, not that we're not going to go bankrupt because of paying a little bit higher rate on portable toilets. It's going to be okay.
Okay, I make a motion to rebid the portable toilet rental.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to rebid the portable toilet contract. Any discussion? All those in favor? Next item is item D, review of draft zoning ordinance amendment. We've got a bunch of zoning ordinance changes. I don't know if everyone heard, I just was asking Chris, most of it's formatting more than any substantial change.
I had a chance to review this with Chris and then over the weekend, I just think a lot of it, it just brings clarity to it. It's not really a lot of changes, so to speak. I agree with it 100%.
Yeah, I didn't find anything that I had any problem with.
The only heartburn that I get from looking at it is that these ordinances are going to be going to town meeting as separate warrant articles. So you could theoretically have a situation where they approve, let's say they approve the land use ordinance, but they don't approve the wireless communication ordinance. Well, the new land use ordinance will say, see wireless
Yeah,
communications
yeah.
ordinance, and then we wouldn't have one.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that, and I've asked, John Larson is planning to attend town meeting. And obviously all of you will be there. So I'm hoping somebody, if that looks like it's going to happen, somebody will speak up and say, no. There's a reason.
Well, maybe that's something we should say right up front when the first one comes up, first article comes up, say, this is basically, they voted on individually, but it's a complete package, and we
Yeah.
might have a defective zoning ordinance if we don't pass all of them.
Yeah.
Basically all of them.
And
Yeah.
I don't really see another way to do it. This is sort of,
Where the separate ordinances is pretty hard.
you gotta have individual votes on each ordinance. And of course, there'll be the public hearing tomorrow night. So if there are concerns, it's a great opportunity to attend.
What if, on that town warrant, we arrange it so the ones that are going to be separate, like the wireless,
Mhm.
are the first ones voted on? So if they vote that in, then automatically they should vote in your land use ordinance.
Well, the problem is, let's say they voted against the wireless communications, and next up is the land use. There's only one land use ordinance. It's up or down, and it already says C, wireless communications. So you basically have to vote it down now, but it's just a year's worth of work. We just have to wait another year, which I prefer not to do that. And
So basically, we could almost make a statement saying, this, we're not really changing much, except it makes more sense organization-wise to have separate ordinances, just to have it all included in the zoning ordinance, which is basically split in as a separate ordinance. I mean, and that's basically what we're doing.
yeah, the subdivision already is a separate ordinance. The wireless communication is like 4 lines in the land use ordinance, the zoning ordinance, and is very loose. And John strongly, is urging passage of that just because it's leaves the town open to having something come in that might not be desirable.
Maybe we could kind of categorize them all together somehow when it gets printed, so they're part of, they need to be voted on separately, but they're part of the whole deal, whole package. Something along that line, make some notes on the.
There can be notes, you can add a note above a clause.
You can include a note that says select board recommends passage,
Mhm.
and you can include comments that are strictly fact,
Well, that's what I mean, but,
don't.
well, these are like 4 parts of a modification of the entire land
Or
use ordinance. and
Maybe
so
just
forth.
run it by James and see what's the appropriate way to.
I can ask the
Yeah,
attorney.
that might be a good way to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure we covered all those zoning items in the regular business, unless someone's got something specific they want to bring up, but I mean. Okay, I'm not hearing anything, so. Let's go on to item H, the solar array. This is me, I've had a few people show interest in using the rest of the site out there, which I know we talked about originally anyway. Put in a community solar farm. There's legislation in process right now that's gonna take limits off how many people can be part of it. We basically get 2/3 of the site still available for solar usage, and we built the infrastructure planning on that, so. When I asked Chris to put it on the agenda, we're saying probably what we'd like to do is just pass this to the solar task force and have them work on, if paperwork and supporting it for all this.
So would it be set up the same way that it is now as far as you have someone invest in the initial purchase? Or
Usually it's more like buying a share in the town, but it's a little different setup instead of the preferred. Power purchase. Each person be responsible for a share of it, and whatever.
Yeah, but it's only to provide enough for so many, right? It's not
What-
enough. It wouldn't be fair to the whole town if you only just. give
Well,
them
people would get to buy a spot up there.
A certain amount here, yeah.
What about maintenance on it? Is that something that would be shared between the people that are buying into this, or would that be something that would be covered by the town?
No. Sure.
So if something went wrong, they would be responsible for like an association.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
How many shares?
Depends how much people want to buy, if it was a business, they could buy it right now. And again, that needs to get worked out, that's a language. We'll work out, come back.
In
In fact, Chris was just showing me the bill, by the way, on that. Was it a year ago or the month
Stealing my
before?
thunder.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Cory.
Getting my manager report.
Oh,
Hold your
okay.
horses.
Never mind that.
I think we ought to save it for the town's use. So,
I know
the town
you know,
grows.
For the municipal itself?
I mean, yeah, whatever. I mean, even if we got more than we can use now, we could put some electric heat or something in, to offset.
It's 3 times as much as we're using.
Yeah, I don't see getting into the selling.
Oh, and it wouldn't be, we just let people in town use the space.
what's, I guess, so the cost would be covered by this association for the initial stuff. They'd split the
There's no
cost.
cost to the town, so it's over to them.
So right now we're using 3 times what we're producing. I mean, we're using a third of what we're producing. What you're saying.
No, we've used about a third of the available space.
Oh, a third of the available. Okay.
What's,
So what if we just set up another equal size array to what just got put in and did it like we did this setup and just sell it back to owner?
That's a wholesale power agreement, that's a whole different.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just don't.
This would be like a bunch of people getting together and using the same site for their own. It'd be people that don't have a spot they can do it, or people that are renting, if they wanted to do that, they can, if they move, they can still take their power, their solar power with. That kind of thing. Go ahead.
what's the benefit to the people that are buying into it? That's,
They get solar power, they get electricity at a reduced rate. And they're doing-
less than what they'd be paying through Mirror normally.
Yeah, quite a bit, actually. And then after their shares, whatever the, return on investment is, once that's done, they're getting free electricity out of it. And it's clean power. And it would be designed around whoever bought into it. Right now, there's limits on how large they can make it. I think those are going to change.
Could- I guess before I vote on something like this, I'd like to see, I'd like to see kind of an idea of what we'd be getting into.
Well, I don't have the solar task force work on it, come back with a proposal.
And that's something they would do just for us. Okay.
I mean, it's basically what the task force is going for.
Yeah, I
Does
think
the town have any administrative responsibility for that?
No, there wouldn't be. It's all private. Like I said, we each want to buy a quarter of the array or something, would be responsible for that part of it.
So is that how it works? Is like you buy a percentage of the array? So you buy, so once 100% has been sold, it's
Yeah,
over with.
yeah.
Can you, if you purchase, let's say I purchase 10%, can I sell 5% to Mike?
You could have it, yeah, you can have it work towards bills. I
Okay.
mean, the solar array,
So you can like sublet essentially.
yeah, I think so. I'm not sure exactly.
Okay, I mean,
I'm
These are solar task force questions.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
The only thing I see is unless you did it like through like a lottery, I see it only benefiting a small group of people. That's the only thing that I, you know, unless you said, well, we're gonna have a lottery and everybody who's interested enter into it, and we're gonna pick so many of you.
I'd probably be first come, first served, but you're probably talking 30 to 50 people. It wouldn't be a small number, probably more than that. Depends on, you know, if you start putting in businesses using a lot of power, you know, I'd be closer.
Would you think that would power 30 to 50 homes? Or-
Find out things more than that. No, they don't. And it's still be unless people start, it takes a while to build that up. If the town uses one up, people still get it.
I guess from the only other standpoint that I'd wonder is like, from a legal perspective, if that's something, I mean, have other towns done this?
Yeah, this way through them around this, Public Works Building in Bar Harbor's got it on there.
That's a public one?
They put it on, well, it's actually the salt and sand shed. They've got one on the Public Works Building, which is being used by like ours, municipal use. But they've got a salt and sand shed. They put a community solar farm on about 2 years ago. Ocean House has got one on one of their buildings, which is municipal, but there's a few of them around there.
Do they charge rent for it?
Some, yeah, actually probably generate a little bit of rent for that. For the space. I would tend to think, my gut feeling would be community members will attend. We can try to tend to charge. It's usually far.
Yeah, definitely all about putting as many panels as we can up there. I just, the legal language and how this would go as far as matching up with where the town would fall into this. I'd be curious to see.
Yeah, the only thing that would make any difference would be, maybe more, a little bit more around. And probably the association would cover that. Usually it's a name. But again, a lot of that's spelled out in the actual contract.
Guess it won't hurt to, if we get some ideas and figure out what a couple different ideas would be. See what we do. What do you guys think?
I mean, I just want to see more about it, you know?
No, yeah.
What's,
See a lot more about it.
I'd like to see how many shares we want to buy. I don't want to guess. If we had a set plan, it'd be something maybe I could review with you.
That's the next step.
I'm all for that.
See what it is as far as whether the town should be involved in it or not. What the town's involved in is.
It's gonna be a town property.
And insurance, are we required to pay any more or carry any more for that? Whether you've got
Currently,
property that's owned by a bunch of people on the town property.
yeah, currently we're not, the solar panels are not included by the town.
With the towns up there mowing, they throw the rock to a solar panel, it's probably,
Liability insurance, everything by the town.
if the tractor runs over one of them.
One of those questions that may only be answerable by a court.
I mean, not something I want to discourage.
No, I know.
I'd like to.
There are a lot of insurance questions, but who covers if? Yeah.
No, on the community solar farms, they provide their own insurance for their work. I know that.
It'd be,
It's basically a condominium setup for solar.
I'd like to see what the people, if the solar task force could, to see what the people in Bar Harbor are paying some examples that show, say, what their percentage is, what they're paying for their share in it.
Yeah, I know there's at least a couple businesses in that solar oriented on the public works site in Bar Harbor. And they were residential and business both. But like I said, we get the rest of the site up there. It will produce enough. It's going to take a long time to fill that up. I don't think people are going to be left behind that would like to be in there unless, we're talking.
So you might buy a share and then say pay a maintenance fee annually or monthly
Yeah.
towards it.
Yeah, and basically what you do is you have it used against your meter or your meters or however you do that.
Now, the one that we set up now, does that do just the town office and town garage, or does it reflect on the school? And
The
that's what I
school,
thought.
the school,
Thought it was
the community.
Yeah.
I think there's 9 meters, I believe.
8
So
years.
8 meters, yeah.
we have room for 9.
Yep.
Library.
What's that from the library?
Includes library.
Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty much all municipal usage.
It has the,
Short of the streetlights, which are,
the meters are in order that they offset, so once they
Mhm.
fully offset one, then it moves to the next one, once it's fully offset. So the
Yeah.
order, I was just looking at it, is town office building, community building, elementary school, public works garage, and then I can't remember the next four, but it's, wharf house, wharf garage,
Yeah.
library, I think is the 5th one. But, like the wharf house is the very last one, and the wharf garage is like the second to last one. And they may never be subsidized because they're so far down the list.
Yeah. but
Just
the
more panels.
an example of that, this array was designed based on the use of all the meters.
Yeah.
That's why it was sized the way it was.
Yeah. I think it's great.
And, after the payback period, basically, 20 some odd years of clear electricity. on it.
I guess I'll make a motion to request the solar task force to research how a community solar farm could be constructed and any other information that the town, where the town's involvement is. I'd like to add that to it, or how the town will be involved in liabilities and such. I guess that's it.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to request the solar task force to research our community solar farm to be constructed on the remaining area of the Falls landfill in best interest of Fremont with the town's responsibility. Does that sound right?
Yep.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Is it, and what the town's responsibilities would be?
Yeah. Legal wise and insurance and all, like the stuff we discussed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there really aren't any. but-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
just to make sure.
Get everything. Yep.
Okay. Buzzing through here.
Yeah.
Item I, Hillrest Cemetery. We have another plot to be sold.
There's only 2 more on the wait list after this.
Make a motion to authorize the town manager to sell lot 261 in Hillrest Cemetery to David L. Sargent for $750.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to authorize the town manager to sell lot 261 in Hillrest Cemetery to David L. Sargent for $750. Any discussion? All those in favor? There you go. Your turn for the thunder first. Town manager.
It went a lot faster than I thought you would. I would have scheduled more of these meetings by now. All right. Major emphasis the last 2 weeks. So I have spoken with several administrators going higher and higher up the ladder at NDOT. And they are working on a draft maintenance agreement between the town and NDOT in which they will reimburse the town for any maintenance that the town does on state roads.
Wow.
Other than snowplow. That's always going to be us. Of course, that agreement will be subject to your approval, so have no concern there. And I don't know what it's going to say. I have talked a little bit with them about what the like how they account for labor, and it sounds like their labor rates are right in line with where with what we pay our employees. And so it's unclear whether or not they factor in benefits. And so that's one of the questions that they're researching. And so I didn't expect so positive a response from them, but they were really interested in that.
That's awesome. Doesn't hurt to ask them, does it?
That's maintenance and repairs, and
Mhm.
what about like ice removal and things like that?
Yeah, it wouldn't include any snow plowing because that's always been on the town.
Does ice removal and when we have like ice out on the roads, that's all 100% town? They won't
They-
cover any of it?
They'll sometimes come out if we ask specially, and they did last time, but they won't reimburse us for it.
But still, if we do a pothole or a
Mhm.
culvert or anything like that, if we want to jump on it and get it done
Or
quickly,
ditching,
then ditching, yep. No, that's good.
it has to be approved by them first.
Oh,
They
yeah,
won't just-
yep.
Yeah, we can't just go wild.
Yeah.
I'm gonna collapse one right by my house.
But
It's real bad by my house.
was pretty pleased with that. So, hoping to hear more and be able to report to you more about that in the next couple weeks.
That's great.
I had economic development meetings with Alan Parsons, Rich Helmke, Mike Radcliffe, and today with Jamie. And I've been drafting the town meeting warrant. I'll be bringing the draft to you at your meeting on March 25th. All right, and some minor projects going on. I received the updated project schedule for the Tremont Road Bridges project, and it's in your packet. I received our first full electric bill for the town office. This is what Kevin was trying to give away earlier. So the bill last month, before the array was offsetting it, was $360.38. And this month, it's $15.53. So I'm told, Kevin says that it's possible that there might be a bill that we get from Sundog, but it wouldn't be nearly as high as that difference because we might have to purchase the power from them. We're still figuring out how this sort of thing goes along. So that might not be the complete savings, but that's substantial right there. Pleased about that. I analyzed the portable toilet bids and wrote the summary that's in your packet. I had my weekly check-in with Jimmy. Keith Higgins has requested that there be a formal memorandum of understanding between the town and the fire department. And so I've begun drafting that. This would essentially just lay out what the responsibilities are of the fire department, what the responsibilities of the town, saying things like there will be an annual appropriation. The town is also responsible for plowing fire department parking lots. All of that has been informal, just trusting that we're going to do it. It would be nice to put that down in writing.
Yeah.
So I've been working on that draft MOU. We posted roads on Friday morning. Reviewed the speed radar data, a snapshot of which is in your packet. Speed radar is now at Flatiron Road, and it'll be there for about the next month. Did all the agenda prep. Prepared all of Callie Goddard's appointment paperwork, and she is now officially the interim health officer. I put together a substantial analysis of all of these street light LED conversion proposals, and that is on the agenda of your March 25th meeting. I began researching tree warden job descriptions from nearby towns, put out calls to all the nearby towns, and hope to have some responses for you at a later meeting. And I've been monitoring the recycling transition. So far, so good. Haven't heard that we've gotten the rejected load yet, so that's a good sign. Town office, drafting the town report. Katie sent out the documented vote notices, and then Jan the notary training. I also wanted to follow up on a request that you made at your July 2nd, 2018 meeting. There was an issue with a property tax or a property owner who acquired a property after April 1st, and so they never received the bill because the bills go out to the owner as of April 1st. And then they ended up missing the deadline and owing a little bit of interest. And so you had requested that we somehow advertise that anyone who has purchased property in the town of Tremont after April 1st needs to make sure that they're paying their taxes on essentially so they don't get penalized. So the way we went about this is that in November, Katie ran a report of all the properties that had changed hands since April 1st and they hadn't yet paid their taxes. There were 6 of those, and then she mailed letters to all of them. And as of today, all of one of them. So there's only one outstanding. That remaining one is an estate, so it changed hands due to the death of the property owner. So we assume that the new owner knows that property taxes are due. It's not like, so I don't think advertising in a local newspaper will do us much good. But we figured it out another way. Didn't have to pay the numbers of Island or $70. Sorry, Sarah. Public works projects, snow plowing and truck maintenance, getting the old recycling stickers off the dumpsters that were no longer accurate. As I said, posted roads on Friday morning, and I just also want to call them out for they were working in extreme cold on Wednesday and Thursday morning. -12 on Wednesday morning, and -15 on Thursday morning. So they were out there. Harbor Master went to Harbor Master School in Castine Wednesday through Friday last week. He's also working on getting morning fillings out and was also plowing in, doing truck maintenance. So some activities that I'll be working on over the next week. I will be meeting tomorrow morning with Sarah to do the deep dive on the budget. And I'll be writing up the financial reports for you that'll be presented on next Monday's meeting. We'll be at tomorrow night's planning board meeting for the public hearing on all of the draft ordinances that you saw tonight. And all of the continuing work on the draft for the annual town meeting warrant.
Thank you. Suggestions for the next meeting?
I got one for tonight's meeting. We need to excuse Mackenzie.
Oh,
Because
good
I make a
thing-
mo-
good thing you thought
I
of
want to
that.
make a motion to excuse Mackenzie Joy.
Second. Yeah.
Good
Good thing you thought of that.
Yeah, really. Good move to second to excuse Mackenzie from tonight's meeting. All in favor?
I'm just gonna, when it goes into the minutes, we're just gonna do it off the roll call.
Good thing you thought of it. I guess. Everybody completely forgot.
No other suggestions? Okay, next meeting date.
I make a motion to confirm the date of the next meeting for Monday, March 18th, 6 p.m.
Second.
Good move to second for the next meeting here, Monday, March 18th at 6 p.m. All in favor?
Motion adjourned.
All those in favor?
Yeah, good thing
Just
thought
Katie, you
of
might
that.
make it home in a decent hour.
Never even thought of that.
I got wicked, but I remember
Our
we never
spouses
said
are-
it.
Yeah, never even thought about it. I would have thought twice either.
Oh, good.
No, not one of us said anything until you.
Well, I noticed it back and I figured I'd wait for the end.
Yeah. This is the quickest meeting we've had for a while.
Yeah, well, it's pretty nice, huh?
Trying to space things out.
We're having one every week now.
It's also helpful that you're meeting every week.
Let's not make that a
Oh,
habit.
gosh.
Yeah, we got signature
Oh,
copies.
gosh, I'm sorry.
The thing I'm-
Sign, yeah, Howdy's on it tonight.
Yeah, he's on it.
Sign the minutes, please.
Not feeling good. He's all over it.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I even put my little notes past the signature folder.
I actually thought of that at one point, but
Oh, God, I'll do that. That one I don't care about.
minutes and a deed, it should be two.
Oh, yeah.
Just the minutes.
No, the deed.
Deed for the,
No, I signed the deed.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Just authorized the deed.
okay. I thought we'd signed some of those.
Anything else we need to do?